Hi, I'm Dave Spadero. Welcome to PhiladelphiaEagles.com. Former Eagle Brian Dawkins announced his retirement on Monday after 16 NFL seasons, 13 with your Philadelphia Eagles. Team Chairman CEO Jeffrey Lurie addressed the announcement, saying that Dawkins, his very favorite Eagle, during his time as the Eagles owner.
When you look back at Brian's career, are there moments that really stick out to you?
Oh my God, there's so many moments with Brian. I mean, just if you were to poll the wide receivers in the NFL and who they were most afraid of going over the middle, I would say Brian Dawkins would be number one. Surefire Eagles Hall of Famer, and I think NFL Hall of Famer. One of the greatest players of all time, and one of the greatest Eagles players in the history of the franchise. That's how good he was.
When you took over in 1994, and then Ray came, when Brian came in '96, did he kind of embellish what you were trying to build here, the character, his on and off the field? Did he kind of embellish what you were trying to build here?
He did. The thing that I'll always remember about Brian was way back when we were just building the team and our record wasn't that great. Every single game, whether we were competing to get in the playoffs or not, this guy was going 100 miles an hour, set the example for the whole building of the franchise. There were other key elements, of course, getting a franchise quarterback, but the whole tone was set by Brian Dawkins. And, that's why, for me, he's really one of my favorite players in the history of the game. And from my ownership of the team, I've always said he's my favorite player I've ever had.
Have you ever seen a player mean more to a city, though, than he did?
Not really. I think he, embodied everything that's great about Philly. You try hard no matter what. He gave his heart and soul to the NFL and to the Eagles, and he was not only all heart, great talent. It's so difficult in this league to find great safeties, and you got Ed Reed, you got Troy Polamalu, you got players like that, and Brian Dawkins right up there. Spectacular player.
He was able to connect with this city and these fans more really than any other Philadelphia athlete. Why do you think that was?
I just think, Brian embodied everything about a working class city. Talented, work hard, appreciate who you are, be comfortable with yourself, look in the mirror, and don't try to put on airs. Just be hard, tough, want to win, and he loved the fans. He really loved the fans, and I think they knew it. And with a lot of players, there's a barrier sometimes to be able to connect with the fans in terms of communicating from your heart. And Brian always communicated from his heart, the way he'd run out onto the field and the way he played. I mean, it's one thing to be alive and energetic, but to play with that consistent intensity every single game of his career was, for me, extremely special.
Like for you to watch those entrances, and he got that whole team, he got that whole crowd, and even yourself. What was it like to watch him come on a field?
Every time Brian ran out, I'd get goosebumps. It was like an uplifting. You're excited for every player on the team. You're excited the game's going to start. But when Brian went through the tunnel, it was like you felt physically different. You felt goosebumps, and let's get the game going, and let's watch number 20 out there. And it was very, very special, and it's just hard to explain. It's just a very, very special football player and person.
Do you have a favorite memory or something that sticks out in your mind from his career here?
Oh, there's so many. I don't know if this second I can come up with one, but I've many times looked at big-time receivers going over the middle against the Eagles and seeing the hesitation that Brian forced them to have. So it's more that. The other thing is, if you can remember in the red zone, Brian's intensity at getting the players around him to deny touchdowns. To me, that was one of the sort of unspoken values of Brian. Our red zone defense was phenomenal when Brian was on the field. And he just rallied with intensity, talent, and a desire to win that I think made us really a top red zone defense. We got to get back to that.
Can you put in words overall what he means to the Philadelphia Eagles?
What Brian meant to the Philadelphia Eagles and will always be part of our family is just an extremely special person, over and above being a player, a great player, but an even better person.
I know you're going to have the ceremony on the 9th, the 30th to honor him.
Yes.
Are there any regrets that he didn't finish his career in an Eagles uniform?
You know, I think we all would have loved to have seen that, but no. I mean, Brian, we've remained close ever since, and I just wanted the best for Brian, no matter what, at all points. And he got a couple extra years in Denver, and I think he enjoyed them. And but you know, we always talked. He's always going to be an Eagle, and really one of the greatest of all time.
What kind of atmosphere do you expect for that game on the 30th?
Oh, well, first of all, it's going to be a great atmosphere going against the Giants on Sunday Night Football. But having B-Doc out there and number 20, and you know, I just think that the crowd will be. There's no way to exaggerate, over the top.
I think they'll maybe let him run out onto the field.
For sure.